The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.
7 years is gone. The sort of the Twitterati, the Twitter sphere,
Yes.
you know, and all the other kind of social media platforms. That's accelerated in prevalence, hasn't it? It's increased in prevalence over those 7 years. So what you were doing on Thronecast now will be happening in parallel around the world via various social platforms, and I'm sure you include that on the programme, do you?
Yes,
So
because
that's changed.
It's. I mean, I watch the show when it goes out. There's a simultaneous. What do you call it? Broadcast at 2 a.m. So we can watch it at 2 a.m. when the Americans are watching it in the evening, and we get people watching Thronecast from all around the world, and some people have their own sort of fan shows in America and all the rest of it. But it's a global phenomenon.
All right, this just in. Hang on a second. This is fresh, and it's just in right now, and it comes from Joe. Joe says, here we go. Chris, this morning I'm so jealous of you. Is it because it's your birthday and you've eaten brownies before I've had my breakfast? No. Is it because you have the best job in the world? No. Is it because your family is so adorable? No. It's because you have the whole of Game of Thrones ahead of you and I can never relive the first watch. Oh, my goodness me, I see now. Is it that good, Sue?
It is that good. And you get into season 6 and 7, you're watching some of the finest television ever made. The big battle scenes are extraordinary. They're extraordinary. And there's dragons, and there's zombies, and the Night's King, and there's good and evil, and everything in between.
Now,
it becomes a wider thing of the living versus the dead.
Okay, and the quality of production, obviously...
I'm aware that if you've never seen Game of Thrones, I sound like a mad person with a baby on my lap.
And also, now, do we talk about the Piers Morgan interview or not? It's up to you. No. We just don't. We just don't. We can.
Well,
I think it's genius. I think Mel B, between you and I think Mel B dropped a gossip bomb in sort of vintage Hollywood PR style. Because that's going to be brilliant, isn't it? You know, and I think Jerry and Mel B will have to sing "To Become One," won't they? Come on, don't tell me that. Don't tell me this is not good for business. Come on now.
I mean, out of anyone I've spoken to, actually, you know the girls more than me. And Mel B, like, sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, what is she saying now? It's the first I've heard of it. Just put it that way.
Right.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Well, who knows what's going on inside Mel B's head at any given moment? But did you watch the interview? How did you find out about it?
No, I wasn't there. I haven't seen it yet, and
How long did it take for your phone to melt?
Not long. Not long. Lots of texts. Yeah.
But as I say, it's got to be good for business, hasn't it?
I don't know.
Because it's a laugh. It's just a laugh, isn't it?
Well, that's how I feel. It's a laugh. And also with Mel, you take, like, you know, everything with a pinch of salt. And she's great. She's great fun. She's great fun.
And you came straight out of drama school and straight into this role.
Yeah.
Not a bad first gig, is it?
Not a bad first gig, is it?
Beware the future. I mean, good luck and all that.
Have I already peaked?
I don't know. How did you get the gig?
I remember just auditioning for it while I was in my final show. I was doing this World War I play, which was very like dark and moody. And I did like 4 rounds for the Durrells, and then found out I got it on like the day of my final performance of this show. And I was just absolutely like ecstatic. I had like the biggest grin on my face, and I had to go on stage as this like depressive, like alcoholic. And I was like backstage, man, I can't do it. I'm just like smiling.
Have you met any Durrells, actual Durrells?
Well, we've met Lee Durrell, Gerald Durrell's widow. She came on the set quite a lot and was just sort of like there.
I think she sent me a copy of his book.
Really?
I think she did, yeah.
My Family and Other Animals.
Yeah, I think you can borrow it, Rach, if you want.
Thanks.
Because you love all that stuff.
I do love reading.
It's a great read.
Ollie Murphy's with us. Last time he was here, he filmed producer Ozzy Nick taking a cold shower in his pants.
Can we just... That just sounds really weird.
True,
just
though.
even you saying that.
But that's what happened.
I know it's what happened.
So deal with it.
Ollie was filming a guy called Nick in the shower.
Well, were you or not?
I was, mate.
So what's the issue here?
No, it's not. It's just the way you said it.
No, I'll tell you again.
No, it's not the way you said it. It's the way that I feel when someone says, "Yeah, you were just another guy in the shower
in his pants.
with your phone in his pants."
Yeah. So naturally, Ollie's back for more, and this time he wants Ozzy Nick to film him. Is that what you want?
No, I don't actually. But if you want him to film it, you can.
Okay. Philip says, "Is the Celeb Cold Shower Challenge a new feature? If not, should be." Well, I think you've owned it, though, haven't you? You've taken it. You've owned it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, who knows what guests you're going to get in, you know, I'm sure you get some guests that could be
Elizabeth
well up.
is here now.
I love a cold shower. I'll take it with you, Ollie. That's the deal. I have to do it.
Ollie, get back to the 13th floor.
I'm running.
The book is very raw. It's very much about you. It's your whole life from childhood to today. How do you feel having written that? Have you changed how you feel about yourself? Have you changed how you approach things in life?
At the moment, I'm feeling really anxious and exposed. But I'm a big proponent of the idea that showing vulnerability is the source of true strength and true self-knowledge, and that if I connect with one person and make them feel less alone, then job done. So I feel that, but broadly speaking, it was immensely cathartic to write. I don't think you should write from a place of wanting to have catharsis, but if that comes about as a byproduct, that's a nice thing. So once the anxiety has subsided, because it's publication week, I do genuinely feel stronger in myself and more aware of who I am. And it has taught me an awful lot about how other people feel about failure. So, for instance, one of the things that comes up again and again on the podcast is that people feel that they failed at their 20s. And that's why I wrote a whole chapter about my own 20s. And I think that that's because it's a very difficult decade of transition for many people. A lot of people would have just left full-time education and then they're going into a slightly messy life where there are no clearly delineated goals.
Reasons to get excited. We're here watching the stars explode. Your thunder and lightning just about to overload, and I can't get you off of my mind no matter how I try. I can't get you off of my mind no matter how I try.
So how did you become Mrs. Hinch?
Well, I cleaned my sink. I know it sounds so crazy, but I created a home Instagram account because I felt like I was bombarding all my friends and family with home pictures on my Facebook, and I thought they're going to get sick of me. Like, I can't be dealing with this. So I created an Instagram account, put some photos on there of my lounge, my kitchen, and I loved it. And it became a bit of a hobby for me. Right. And then one day I thought, right, I'm going to shine my sink, and I used this certain cloth, put on a bit of, some good music. As you know, good music. And then everyone was following my stories and we all just had, they was like, I'm going to do that, Mrs. Hinch. And it was really satisfying.
And what is it that caught light with the people? Was it a method? Was it how shiny your sink was? Was it the joy with which you were doing it? How come they engaged with you? What was the thing? What was the X factor?
I think it's the results.
Right.
And it's having, you've achieved something. And to be fair, cleaning, we've all got to do it at some point. We've all got to do some form of cleaning at some point in our lives. So and it's always been known as like a bit of a chore. And I don't know, I love doing it. I love cleaning. So now we just have fun with it, and now we're all doing it, and we've all got something in common.
I was reading your book over the dinner table, waiting for the takeaway.
Oh, thanks.
To arrive, and I was writing notes in it, and I've just noticed now, because I write my notes in the books that I have to talk about, and I just noticed that my wife has written me a little message next to all the notes I've written. Look, that's nice, isn't it?
Oh, cute. Hello to your wife.
I know.
Is she a hincher? That's
of course she's a hincher.
Yay!
I'm surrounded by hinchers. I'm not a hincher, but I am sort of by association. From an endorphin and dopamine issue, if you look at the chakras, if you don't believe in chakras, then you're mad. But that's okay. You can't be mad on your own. But chakras are real, and they have colours. And the love chakra is green, and that's why we love nature so much. We love being in it. We love looking at it. We love eating it, because green is love.
There's a lot to be said for being in nature and actually the wisdom of ancient medicine. I'm a conventionally trained doctor, but I appreciate and I'm very open-minded to lots of different medical disciplines. Actually, when you look at the core values of it, it's lifestyle principles. Getting yourself into nature is something that I talk about in the book, actually, because I'm like zooming into different conditions and parts of the body, looking at diet, but also lifestyle and environment, and getting yourself walking through a green park or breathing exercises can impact your health so
not can, will
exactly,
impact you. Yeah. Why are purple things generally so good for us? What is it about purple?
So purple is a pigment that we find in a ton of different ingredients. So purple potatoes and purple cauliflower, and they represent pigments, phytochemicals, or chemicals that we find in plants that might have anti-inflammatory benefits, anti-sugar benefits. But it's not just about one colour, it's about getting the rainbow, like you're saying, because that way you can sort of essentially guarantee that you're getting a good variety of different micronutrients and phytochemicals phytochemicals as well.
The amazing thing to me
Right.
is after 35 years, I'm
Yep.
still a discoverable entity. like you know what I mean? It's like I'm still a mid-level celebrity, which is fine, but I know the
You're
level.
not mid-level. You're A-list now.
No, dude, here's the level I'm at. 3 guys could be walking towards me, and one of them will go, "Oh my God, it's Mark Maron," and the other 2 will be like, "No, I don't know that guy." Now look. I'm happy the one guy knows who I am,
Yeah.
all right? I'm not complaining. But what I've learned over time is I don't have to stand there while he tries to explain who I am
Right, okay.
to the other 2. Not
Did
a
you-
great few minutes.
Did you do that for a while?
Well, yeah, I'm usually pretty polite. I'll
Okay.
stand there.
All
I'll
right.
stand. It's a
So
joke. That
if
was a joke.
If you were looking for Mark Maron via the
Why can't I be with my face turned to the laughing people?
well, no, because I'm cracking.
all right, go ahead.
People are laughing with us.
Okay, good.
But they don't need me to laugh.
I need you to laugh.
Why?
Because I'm looking at you.
Okay, but I've been laughing while you've not been noticing.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I laugh at the things that aren't jokes.
It's very. Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
You're a very tricky one to read
Well,
because
sorry
usually
about
there's
that.
some indication.
I can only
that
apologise.
Yeah, well,
What more can I do?
accept your apology.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been an
indeed.
honor.
No, is it over?
Oh no, I thought you were closing. No, you're not rapping.
Well, I
can stay here all morning.
Joe Suggs and Casper Lee, YouTube megastars Joe and Casper, lend their voices now to the animated adventure movie Wonder Park, out in cinemas on Monday in time for Easter. So tell us about the film, boys. Tell us about what you do in it. Joe first.
So we play 2 little mischievous beavers called Gus and Cooper, which actually, when we got the roles, your beaver was taller than mine as well, and we didn't even plan that. It was it's natural.
And
it was perfect.
I've been a beaver fan since I was 7 years old, so I was really excited to finally be called up to play one.
Cass is a bit of a method actor. He really got into the role.
Well, that was 3 months ago I started becoming a beaver. It was 7 years.
And how do your beavers differ in characters?
They're both pretty similar. Mine's got bent whiskers.
Right.
But we fight a lot.
I think my beaver's a little bit more understanding.
Yeah.
Just in general.
But we do scrap a lot.
And what happens to you as beavers in the film?
So we are part of a girl called June's imagination. So this girl called June, she's got this brilliant imagination. She invents this entire theme park in her head. And we're some of the characters in that theme park.
Right, so other people voicing characters in this movie, I mean, megastars.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
If it does, I don't want to know. Matthew Broderick, Jennifer Garner, Mila Kunis, Tom Baker, John Oliver, who's huge in America, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he plays Steve the Porcupine. Any jealousy there? You happy with the beaver compared to porcupine?
Do you know what? I'm happy with the beaver. I think we're slowly sort of making our way up the animal kingdom because we were actually in a SpongeBob film before that. A few years ago, and we were seagulls, and we had quite a small part. But we're slowly making our way through the animal kingdom,
Through
which
the
is
food
good.
chain.
Yeah.
The Chris Evans Breakfast Show with Sky.